Hello and welcome to pdfsupply.com. Today we're going to be testing an IC697ALG440 expansion analog current input 4 to 20 milliamp. There's 16 points or 16 channels. And this is an expansion from the IC697ALG440 analog input module. Okay? So a couple things here. First I'm going to describe what we have physically in front of you. I'm using an IC697 PWR711 power supply and an IC697 CPX772 processor, and these are in an IC697 CHS750 5-slot rack, just for your reference. And a couple things. First of all, the physical configuration that I have here in front of you, I want you to note. On your wiring diagram, your door card, you'll see I have these wires here. The description at the bottom of the module, in order for these two analog cards to communicate and send their information back to your software, your Proficy Machine Edition is what I'm using. You have this wiring diagram on the bottom. There's on the left hand side of the diagram is a circular E, and on the right hand side there's a square E, which is exactly the same as what's on the ALG440, a circular E on the left and a square E on the right. You'll also notice these digits. Next to the circular E is 3 and 4, next to the square E is 1 and 2. What that's telling you is that you simply wire parallel from one module to the next in order to get this expansion capability. So I have my circular E3 going to my circular E3, which are both terminals 36. Circular E4 to 38 and 38 on the module next to it, and so on. E1 to 37 and E2 to 39. Okay? So this is a very, very simple parallel wiring in between the two modules. That's my physical configuration. Now, in Proficy Machine Edition, what I've done is I've established in main rack, the IC697 CHS750 5-slot chassis with all the modules that I described. And I don't have anything particularly configured for the ALG440, and there's no configuration needs for the 440, although when you do establish the 440, that'll be in slot number 3. You want to pay attention to the reference address. Mine is set up as AI0009, and what that means is when I go to my analog input table, I'll be looking from address number 9 through 17 for my channels. Okay. The next thing is I have this already in run mode, and as you can see, my lights that are on, my OK lights are on both modules, and the expansion active is also on. A little troubleshooting tip for you. Occasionally, when you first set up these systems, I've seen more times than not that these lights won't always be in this configuration. What I usually see is that the expansion light is off, and again, this is when you initially set these up, and the OK light on the expansion module is blinking. What I would normally do if you have that problem, and you must keep your battery plugged into your processor, by the way, but what you want to do is power down and power back up. Just do a power cycle, maybe 2 seconds, power back up, and the blinking will go away. I don't have an example for you here because these are already set up and working, but that is a common problem that you'll run into. Alright? So the next step is, now that I've got this all in working order and the processor is in run mode, I'm going to go to my analog input table in Proficy Machine Edition, and I'm going to be looking at channels 9 through 24 is my expansion. And I'm going to test it by probing it with a milliamp generator. I have these two leads here. And I'm going to touch each lead to the corresponding channels. Channel 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15 are on the right hand side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16 are on the left hand side. And the polarities, positive and negative, are illustrated on this door card or wiring diagram. So positive and negative. Positive is 1, negative is 3, and that's for channel 1. And I look at my value in the Proficy Machine Edition. Channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm holding this on long enough to get the full value. If there's a particular channel that you think you might be having trouble with, on my generator I can increase or decrease the amount of milliamps, and I can watch on Proficy Machine Edition in the analog input table the value going down in very small amounts or going up in very small amounts at a time. And what I'm doing here is I'm making sure that the circuit isn't just stuck on its full value. So occasionally if these go bad and you put it on, it may give you a full value of 32,767. When you try to drop the value to see a lower value or a lower scaling and nothing happens, that usually tells me that the circuit is blown. I continue to test all the channels. All the way through 16. So once I've seen that all the channels are working and it's in good working order, I'm satisfied that this is a perfect module and there's nothing wrong with it. The problem that I described before, if any of the channels or all the channels are stuck on full value or you don't get an OK light, are just some of the problems that you could have with an ALG440. And that is something that we do repair here at PDF Supply. We offer exchange programs, new and remanufactured products, and same-day shipping. So if that's something that interests you, please see us at pdfsupply.com. Thank you.